Our big talking point tonight, Justice P D Dinakaran could become the first Chief Justice in the country to be impeached by Parliament. That process was begun today when 76 MPs from the Rajya Sabha decided to begin the process of impeachment. Let's go across then to our panel tonight. Former Solicitor General Soli Sorabji, the BJP's General Secretary Arun Jaitley and the Congress spokesperson Abhishek Manu Singhvi, all with us. I want to come to you first, Mr. Jaitley, since you have pushed this impeachment motion. Do you think this impeachment motion will actually go through, that the left and the BJP coming together, will an impeachment motion go through? Because no judge has been impeached successfully by the Parliament in the last 60 years.
The constitutional obligation and the constitutional authority to initiate a motion lies with the MPs. 76 MPs have been prima facie convinced the charges, and that is why they have signed it. It is now for the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, the Honorable Vice President, to prima facie form an opinion and admit the motion if he so thinks fit. After admitting the motion, he has to appoint a 3-member inquiry committee which will investigate the charges. That's a constitutional process. There is no alternative process, and the authority and the obligation is both on Parliament to do it.
Okay, that's the perspective of the BJP and the left. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, why is the Congress reluctant to join this impeachment motion? What is it? What is holding back the Congress from joining hands with the BJP and the left against Justice Dinakaran and possibly impeaching him?
I think you've got it wrong, Rajdeep. That's not so. I made it myself clear specifically. This was moved for the first time 2 to 3 days ago. The Congress has not taken any decision either way. It could as well support this resolution. It's fully open. It could oppose it. Indeed, it could give a third option. Each MP can decide on his own without any party diktat. So there is absolutely no question of taking a view either way. There are Telangana, there is Lebanon debate, there is Parliament, there are lots of things happening. You can't have instant reactions. But let me tell you one thing. Nothing stops this resolution from going to the stage of an inquiry committee being appointed by the Vice President, the Chairman of our House, for the simple reason that it is for him to decide. It doesn't require an affirmative vote of Congress or anybody else.
Okay.
The moment you cross 50 and the Vice President thinks in his discretion to admit it, he can then go ahead and appoint the committee. The stage for the Congress, or for that matter for the balance roughly 180 odd members of the House, deciding either way, individually or collectively, arrives much later after that report.
All right, a quick response, Arun Jaitley. The Congress isn't giving its plan yet, but isn't it a bit disappointing? Isn't this an issue where you'd like to have some political bipartisanship, if you like?
Mr. Jaitley.
Well, I think there is a law, there should be a procedure which simplifies the whole process, and I'm given to understand that the present law minister is already working at it.
Let me bring in Soli Sorabji at this moment. Mr. Sorabji, you're hearing the two political parties talking about impeachment. Where do you stand? You and other senior jurists have taken this up. At the moment, Justice Dinakaran says there's not enough evidence. You're only hanging him on the basis of allegations.
No one is hanging him. The inquiry will take place. After the requisite signatures have been obtained, the impeachment process was started. There will be an inquiry committee of 2 judges and a distinguished jurist. Dinakaran will have full opportunity to explain his stand, to defend himself, and then a decision will be taken. But prima facie, the very fact that so many members of Parliament of Rajya Sabha have signed it, and they have signed it on the basis of not gossip of the bar, allegations made by responsible people, supported by documents of the orders he has passed, supported by other documents. But why go further? The collector made a report against him. He says this is motivated. Very well, that's all we gone into. But is this a case for impeachment? One can't keep quiet. Whether finally he is found guilty or not, one shouldn't be judged. No, prima facie, there is a case for impeachment process.
Sir, but isn't impeachment an extremely cumbersome process? That the fact is that in the last 60 years, no judge has been successfully impeached. Do you believe impeachment really was the solution, or do you believe that Justice Dinakaran action should have been taken by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Mr. Justice Balakrishnan, who some reports suggest is actually supporting Justice Dinakaran?
No, that's some nonsense. Chief Justice can't dismiss Chief Justice of another High Court. He has to be removed. and it can be only by the method provided by the Constitution. What you are saying is about his elevation to the Supreme Court. These are two different issues. Please understand one thing, that this provision was, I'm very sorry that we've had to use this. I'm very sorry that the stage has come that such allegations are made against the sitting Chief Justice of the High Court. It pains me. But simplification, suggestions have been made to remove this procedure, rather replace the procedure with the procedure of a National Judicial Council.
Right.
But that is still being considered.
In fact, that's just the question. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, your government in its first term had promised many judicial reforms. They seem to have come to naught. Is that something that you are looking to hasten now?